This is the One Piece King here today. Um, with this video though, it's gonna actually be different. This is actually gonna be the first one ever. So basically, I've kind of been just, checking around through stuff and everything. Been seeing what's been new. The only thing that I've really, seen that is new is mostly people talk about like Final Fantasy stuff, the Final Fantasy remakes and stuff. And I'm not too huge on that, so that's not what I'm gonna be talking about. Definitely not that. People are still speculating with Jump Force at the moment, so that's gonna be off for a while too and everything. Pirate Warriors 4 is kind of the same. We're still waiting for Smoothie. We're still waiting for new stuff to come in for Pirate Warriors 4, so that's kind of pushed away for a while too. Um, but this one, is more like, yeah, this one's more like a focus of, the possibility of, the Diamond and Pearl remakes of Pokemon, basically. I mean, I've grown up with Pokemon though, so basically, my childhood is kind of bringing me back to this and stuff, but I've always, loved it and everything since the beginning. Yeah, since the beginning, whenever I first discovered it, which was like, shoot, I was probably like 6 years old, because the first way how yeah, it was either like 6 or 5 years old or something. But I know that whenever my dad, we had a DS and everything, and my dad he went and played a Pokemon Ranger game. It was first him, and then it was my sister, and then somehow I just stumbled upon it, and I thought it was pretty fun. I thought the game was pretty fun and everything. In fact, the other day and everything, I was watching the speed run that this one dude did and everything. He was I think he was breaking like a Japanese style of the game where all the text and everything is in Japanese. So, but he was trying to beat a world record or something, basically of they called it a PH, and I'm like, not really sure what PH really means, not really sure. Um, but apparently, though, it seemed like he tried to break a world record, and I don't know if he did with the first one, but with Guardian Signs, he definitely did. I watched him do the basically the speed run of Guardian Signs. It also brought me back to nostalgia, and I'm like, why? It was like, why was it that I was like, kind of like I loved the game, but I felt like I also hated it at the same time. But then looking back through it, I was like, turns out I didn't really hate Guardian Signs after all. I just felt like there was not much needed. Like, there was not much to it and everything. Like, yeah, we had like maybe an event, like an event or two added in there, which was I don't know if the shaman event, like the shaman mission that was like, something with like the flower area or something in Guardian Signs. I don't know if that was like a mystery gift mission or something. I don't know, because I feel like that was like a natural mission. Like there was naturally a shaman there and you can naturally get one. I think that's what I remember. As for there was a different one, but it kind of ties in a parallel to like the main game, sort of. Uh, there was like this thing where you could actually go back in time into the past, and this is of course with the help of Celebi. Um, but apparently, when you get sent into the past and everything, you actually meet like this group, this tribe group, that apparently need your help with beating all these other guys and everything because it seems like they've lost their way or something, or basically it's like, they don't know exactly what they're doing, it's like something really terrible. It's kind of like the ironic kind of thing where something bad happens, you're there to stop it, blah blah blah. But in fact, funny story, the dad, the kid who asked for your help, his dad actually holds the Arceus and everything. He holds a legit Arceus. I'm not even joking. They hold a legit Arceus. And I kind of questioned about that a little bit. I'm like, an Arceus? An Arceus? Okay. When will this play into the main game? Because that's what I wanted to do. That would not be bad if it played into the main game. I'd be like, that's cool. We got some way to have it play into the main game. It sort of does, but again, it's a mystery gift kind of thing, so that means like, it does deal with something with Arceus in the end. I don't know if it ties the story like that. Um, but the thing of it is though is that not only Arceus is there, but the other three are also there as well, like Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. They all appeared. Um, I mean, I had to go and like watch through like what's happening and how it happened because yeah, like all I remember was, watching a video on how exactly that was happening and stuff. I don't know if I ever go and get me like a 3DS or something, and I'm gonna try and see if I can like do something like that and stuff, like go through the event and stuff, because even though those are gone right now and stuff, it feels like people are still using cheats and stuff to get, the events of what they want so they can experience it. And by all means, I'm not like, I'm not basically saying like don't do it and everything, because at this point people are having action replay codes like crazy now. So, for any of you people that, go and play the games and you're using your action replay, cheats and stuff to do the events or get yourself free legendaries, kudos to you, because that's kind of what I did and everything once I got my first action replay. But that was more on the regular DS. I didn't have it on my 3DS yet, but I did learn there was one that you can get on the 3DS. Um, but now on the main focus, which is basically talking about the Diamond and Pearl remakes. So the recent game that we have out right now and everything, I mean, it released out like in November. Yeah, it released out in like November, so game is still relevant for a while and everything because it's been like a few months. They're wanting to release DLC. We're not exactly sure when the DLC will be released, but they basically mentioned it before. Um, but yeah, though, like Sword and Shield still relevant and everything, and unless it becomes like less relevant, where it's like Game Freak is basically thinking like, well, we're not exactly sure what else to really do because that's pretty much it. You got to travel to a new land, but after that journey, we're not sure what else to do and stuff. You know, um. But basically, though, I'm not saying like Sword and Shield will just be done like that and everything. I'm just saying like the concept of what they were doing for Gen 7, or is it 7 or 8? I have to, man, it's like making me have to go through and recheck all the gens and everything. I think it is like a Gen 8 probably, because I think Gen 8 is Galar. I think it's the Galar gen and everything where you get all the Galarian Pokemon. Because Alola would be 7, I believe. Yeah, Alola would be 7 and the 6 is Kalos. Yeah, okay, that's what I remember. Um but basically though, I'm not saying that, I don't like Sword and Shield, because considering I haven't played it yet and everything, I haven't gotten the experience yet and stuff, and since we're dealing with all this corona stuff right now, still kind of in the fence and everything about wanting to get me a Nintendo Switch and kind of just wanting to play the game. Um, because it's more like, if I was to go and get it now and everything, it's more like I'm gonna be like one of those people waiting for the DLC. Uh and trust me, I wasn't real happy with I wasn't real happy for the fact that whenever it came to Pirate Warriors 4, uh all the people basically, that way, and were pre-ordering their physical copies, they got it like probably a day earlier or days earlier before the people on the digitals got it. So it got me pretty mad, and I'm like, why is this happening? I feel like there's something wrong that happened. I'm not saying anything wrong that happened now that I play the game. It's more like, yeah, it feels right. But who knows really? Because I think with Bandai with their DLCs and everything, I hope they do well with that and everything. I hope they do their Pirate Warriors 4 DLC. Not only just characters, but maybe add a little something to it. That'd be really great. I would really hope so. But if they don't, I'm gonna be like wasted. Wasted potential. Like freaking throw in the wasted, yeah, throw in the wasted side from GTA 5. That's completely it, like right there. Um but as for my opinion, like of what I would want for Sinnoh remakes, like Gen 4 remakes, um I think this has been on a lot of people's minds, like this has been going around for like a long time. People have been wanting Gen 4 remakes. I definitely did want it and everything. I want Gen 5 remakes as well, for both. And reason being why is because, like, yeah, Gen 5 did get a sequel to their game, but it wouldn't hurt to give it a remake on both of them. But, Gen 4, though, definitely needs one. Of course, I want Mega Evolutions, just Mega Evolutions, to come back. You know, I'm probably gonna be more descriptive about that with like a little side note or something. Um, but Mega Evolutions, I definitely want to come back and everything. Dialga and Palkia, if they were to go and get like primal, reversion forms or something like Groudon and Kyogre did, that'd be really cool. Because considering they probably would throw in the reference of Primal Dialga, which goes back to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which by the way, I love those games and stuff. I didn't play the Super Mystery Dungeon. That was the only one I didn't play, and I didn't play the newest one. That is the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon DX, I believe. Yeah, DX, which is basically the new one. I didn't play that one though, and everything because again, I don't have a Switch. But I'm more on the fence about that one because I'm like, no, like I noticed there was one thing about it. It didn't have friend areas in there anymore. They created a thing that's called friend camps, and I'm like, no, I don't like that. I actually want to explore the area in a 3D format. That's what I want to do because we got to do it in a regular, like in a regular 2D format, and I liked it. But as like a 3D format, there was a friend area that was called the Final Island, I believe. And I believe Mew, yeah, I believe Mew was the one that actually, lived over there by itself. Because all the legendaries kind of live by themselves, sort of, except for, yeah, I think it's except for Jirachi. Jirachi's like the only one that makes it where it's like, I don't live by myself, I can live with others too and stuff. Um, but basically though, yeah, I definitely would love to see like all the friend areas in a 3D format. Would have definitely been lovable. But yeah. But as for back to the other, yeah, Dialga and Palkia primal reversions and everything. I'm not sure if we're gonna get like any other legendaries that will get megas because going on the route of what the Ruby Sapphire remakes did, like they gave Groudon and Kyogre like primal reversions, which look pretty cool. Like don't get me wrong, it fits with their elements very well. But then of course when we got the Delta episode, we got to learn a little bit more lore or something, more focusing on Rayquaza, and it was focusing on this dragon clan that apparently this girl was a part of. Forgot the name, but I remember doing part of the Delta episode and stuff because I think I was playing on a friend's DS and everything one time. They let me play on the 3DS because they were like, well, shoot, it's like you like Pokemon too, don't you? And I'm like, yes. It's like, have a go. It's like, awesome. And I got to have fun with that one and everything. But yeah, I did get to show him that there was a secret episode in there. There was something called a Delta episode in which yeah, we would get to later meet Rayquaza. And I think the only coolest part that I loved about that probably should have been explored a little bit more was going into space. Um, and yeah, it was like going into space, and you actually got to fight Deoxys out in space, and I'm like, dude, that's gonna be the coolest thing ever. Like, you never expect a Pokemon game to go into space. Like, yeah, Sun and Moon has Ultra Space, but the remakes legit made you go into space, like outside of the freaking planet. Okay? Outside of planet Earth. And you can see it in the background too when you battle Deoxys. Like, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I'm like, we need more stuff like that. We need more stuff like that. Like, maybe something like that in the Gen 4 remakes where it's like, maybe we'll be able to travel through dimensions, really, because the way how I'm looking at it and everything, of course, we'll probably get a platinum episode where, of course, this would mean like we would get to meet with Giratina, go through the distortion world. Also looking at it in a 3D format, which would be cooler, be probably more detailed, and probably be like, whoa, it could make you go, whoa, like really, the distortion world would be a crazy place. But also, besides the distortion world, it kind of makes me wonder about like if we would be able to explore Dialga and Palkia's dimensions as well, because like I think that's probably the newest thing that we should probably, get as a new thing or something. Especially more with focusing on those legendaries is going through their dimensions and stuff. Would definitely be dimensional travel, yeah, because again, going back to Sun and Moon, yeah, they had the ultra space, the wormholes and stuff. But I wouldn't exactly call that dimensional travel. I'm more of looking at it like because it even describes in the text and everything whenever you're after you're done traveling through the ultra space, it even says you went like a huge number of miles or yeah, you went like a huge number of miles or years, into a format or something, meaning like you could have went to the past, the future, um, it's like at the any point of time really. It's like, cool. It's like I went this many years and everything, going into the future or the past, and I get to find this Pokemon, whether if it's a legendary or a rare one. It's like I got to find them in this timeline, in this area. I'm more looking at it like, no, 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 no. It's like, no, what they should have done with that right there should have been like some legendaries and everything, like, probably could get the areas like that, but some of them could get dimensions. With Dialgas, it'd be more of a time related dimension where, the field would also be feeling like, yeah, there's a lot of time flowing everywhere, but that's because it's Dialga, he rolls over it. Palkia, you feel, a lot of, dimensions and space and everything, like reality itself, you would feel it. Yeah, basically like a spatial rift, like, basically you'd feel all that and everything. The energy of space itself, you'd feel it because that's Palkia's dimension. Uh, and also, freaking, it would throw in a hint, like, it throwing in like a tiny little hint, of throwing in, like, it could have been like, wow, like, there could have been a choice of going into Giratina's distortion world, but it's like, like, once you see it and everything, it's like you want to go through, but basically, like, whichever version you're playing, whether it be the Sun, which is Solgaleo, or if you're playing as Moon with Lunala, basically, it's like you want to go through it, but they're just like trying to let you know, like, I don't like this place, let's skip over. It's like, but I want to go there. It's like, I feel like I know what that means. It's like, no, no. It's like, we're going over here. We're gonna keep running. It's like, dude. Like, I'm pretty sure, Game Freak would do a troll like that and everything. Like, they would. I would see them doing a troll of that, throwing in a little Easter egg, a hint, that it's like, yeah, Sinnoh remakes are definitely coming. And that right there probably would explain, like, what next gen is coming, or what next game is coming. It's like, bruh, let's go. Um, but yeah, I would definitely like more dimensional travel and everything. It probably, probably with Arceus, you probably might be able to go to different realities. Probably, like, maybe, like, I'm not saying like basically you would go into like realities that have like 2D or something. But it's like basically you would probably go into areas and everything that would seem like, these are different timelines and everything. Like, everything would stay 3D. But, everything else would be like all these timelines of, what could have been and everything, what could have happened. Like, basically a big half part of it would basically be if, the weapon and everything, if the weapon, like, blasted off into space and came back onto Earth, and created the Mega Evolution and stuff, like, that whole theory going out and stuff, like, we're not, I'm getting the two mixed up. Game Freak could probably, make that possible and stuff, because it's like, yeah, they're trying to tell us, like, yeah, the timelines of that make sense and everything, plus we even threw in, like, we threw in, like, basically a huge hint, in the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire that basically do indicate that, yeah, it seems like, the timelines are very different, like, you're in a different universe now, where we're basically in one universe and everything. Yeah, in one universe, Mega Evolution exists. The other, which is basically going back to the old games, it never existed. It was never a plan to begin with. It just never happened. And basically just bringing that up, I'm just like, really? You don't say. It's like, man, Game Freak, you really wanted to surprise us and literally want us to go, like, believe on our theory that there is another, like, there's another timeline or another universe basically where the Mega Evolution never existed. And you're proving our point. It does, it does seem to be the case. Um, but with the dimensional travel of time and space, I would definitely want something like that where, it could either be like one portal or two. It could probably lead into like, the original Sinnoh basically, where, these Pokemon and everything, where these Pokemon that can't seem to Mega Evolve and everything, but in, in your world basically, in your reality, they can. Now, it would kind of make a bit like of a weird exception to basically say like, okay, it's like now that I'm here, I can't really seem to go and Mega Evolve my Pokemon because if I do, they're gonna start questioning what in the world did you do and why is this happening? Like they would question it so much and everything, and it would kind of raise suspicions, on why your Pokemon is like it has another evolution stage. It's like what does this mean? It's like probably be like a little secret episode or something. The Arceus episode. The Arceus episode, where basically, you have to go and fight Arceus, and you have to, I mean, I think you'd be able to capture him and stuff. Like, it might take you a while, but I think you'll be able to capture Arceus and stuff. Because I think, meeting all three of them would lead up to the point where, yeah, it would basically be like, oh, it's like Arceus episode. It exists. It's not a little mystery gift event where we have to do, like Wi-Fi stuff or whatever. No, 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 no. Well, I mean, in this case, though, with 3DS's mystery gift, I believe doesn't even exist anymore. It's more like, just internet is the possibility. Like, legit, it really is. But anywho, though, the Arceus episode basically would be like, you battle Arceus and everything, like, you meet him, you battle him, because it's like, he believes, like, he sees something great in you that you could do. You battle, you capture him, because it wouldn't be a great idea if you defeat him, because, I think if you defeat him, I think the whole Arceus episode would have the purpose beaten, and I don't know if you would have, like, a companion with you or whatever, but they would probably tell you, like, I think, like, they basically would tell you, like, I think Arceus would come back another day or something, like, if, probably the next time you should come back to battle it or something, because, trying to indicate you're supposed to catch it to move forward, like, throwing that indication in there, like, it's your choice if you want to catch it or not, but it's like, at this point, though, who would miss on catching a legendary Pokemon? Answer me that. But you catch him and everything, Arceus joins your party, but he has to, it's a mandatory thing where he has to legit join in your party and stuff. And so, it continues on where, Arceus then wants to go and show you, the multiple realities or something. Like he's, kind of pulling you into a dimension of his own that it's like he has all these realities that he can move to, and it's like, yeah, you see, like we would get more of the lore described there and everything, I don't know if that means there would be a person right there or something, but it's like, in a way, Arceus would try to explain the lore of what's happening and stuff, like, what was he doing and, what would all happen here and everything, like, I mean, I don't know if that would give Arceus the whole telepathy thing or something, because, I mean, he's the literal god of the Pokemon world, the universe itself. That is what Arceus is. He's the god. I don't know if they would go and, I don't know if they would go and make it like that for Arceus, though, where they finally give him telepathy where he could speak. If they do, that'd be pretty freaking awesome. That'd be the first ever of a legendary that would speak telepathy and stuff, instead of just having it where they have to stare at you and make, the Pokemon cry at you. Like, no. Arceus would definitely be like, actually trying to speak and be like, I see, it's like, you young child, you young trainer, it's like, yes, welcome into my world, like, describing what, like I said, describing what he's done and what's been happening, like how he would also be familiar with the whole Mega Evolution thing, he'd be familiar with that. And of course, you, the player, would finally understand, like, how Arceus feels about that, because it's like, dude created the entire Pokemon universe. That means, like, he would know if there's infinite realities anywhere and stuff. That means there could only be one Arceus. There could be millions of them. You know, like they really can't and everything. I know, by game wise, it seemed like you could cheat, transfer, your Arceus that you got from like Diamond and Pearl, transfer it over to Black and White, and try to cheat and catch another Arceus that way. Like you can catch a million of them and do it that way. Uh, I mean, game wise, yeah, it would seem like that and everything, but as an all actual reality there for the Pokemon, story, the lore of everything, there's only supposed to be one, and I'm pretty sure you would meet just the one in the remakes and stuff. Like I said, this whole episode would be dedicated to Arceus on how you get to learn about everything. Like you get to literally be taught about, the lesson, well, not the lesson, but the story of how these multiverses are created and everything. Basically proving more of the theory that everyone had with those multiple different timelines or multiple different universes. Which basically Arceus would basically say, like, yeah, you see, like, okay, let me explain this to you. So, basically he would probably explain of, the Mega Evolution one, which we already know that one about and everything, but it'd be more of a short one. Z-Moves, we probably might get the origin of where that came from, because I don't know if Sun and Moon ever explained where the Z-Moves came from, I don't really know. If you played Sun and Moon, or at least played the Gen 7, and everything, and if it ever explained where Z moves came from, like the whole Z ring, Z moves, and the Z crystals came from, please do comment that down below, because if it never did, Arceus would explain that too, where there's another reality where it's just that. There's no Mega Evolutions, there's none of that, it's just, Alola had its own thing where it was just, the Z moves and the Z crystals and stuff, where it's like, Z moves was all they had. They never experienced Mega Evolution before. Like, that is so very different. Like, yeah, Arceus would explain that, and even would explain the Dynamax theory as well, like, he would explain that and stuff and be like, yeah, you see, this happened, and somehow, these Pokemon that, kind of absorb this energy became huge. And, it kind of felt like a little bit of a corruption a little bit, like, it made him huge, it made him really powerful, but it's like, if it was just a wild Pokemon out there, which I'm supposed to keep watching over every single one of them, which I am, yeah, it may have corrupted a few, and that's bad, so, but the way how it was, like, began was this, like the way how it started was this, and it's like, oh, it's like, well, thanks, thanks for telling us, because again, going by Sword and Shield, which I haven't played or whatever, I don't know how the Dynamax theory, like how it goes, like how it started, I don't know if it's ever explained, because one way as I'm looking at it and everything, I may have looked at a little bit of spoilers of stuff and everything, there was a legendary Pokemon called, like, Eternatus or something. Basically, it's like this long, it's like a long, snake or something. I don't even, well, it's not really a snake, it's more like, it's like this long freaking Pokemon and everything, but it's got like a lot of spikes on it and everything, but it, apparently, from what I'm getting the implication of and stuff, as I, like basically I watched a video, I believe it was Malexi, which, by the way, shout out to him, he makes really good, Pokemon content right there and everything, and he really does. Um, but is it Eternus or Eternatus? But anywho, people in the comments in this video when Eternatus got brought up and everything were saying that basically Eternatus was the reason Dynamax, like the Dynamax theory came to be. It was because of that, and I'm like, well, shoot. It's like if that was the cause of that thing, it either needs to be contained or what, because. You're basically the reason we don't have Mega Evolutions anymore. Like, all these Pokemon that return and everything from all these different generations and stuff, I think so. Like, Gen 1 all the way from 7, because I know some Gen 7 Pokemon actually got some love in there and everything. But I think every single gen did actually get some love and stuff. I think they did. But basically, though, in a huge way, if that was the case, Eternatus and everything, like, Eternatus is basically Game Freak's way of saying like, aha, it's like you wanted Mega Evolutions back again, did you? It's like, well, no. Dynamax is gonna be the new hit thing, in which like they're starting to like trying to think about why, and then yeah, Eternatus comes to be. They're just like, this guy comes to be. It's like you're gonna fight this guy. You can either fight him or you can catch him. But he's your reason of why your Mega Evolutions and your Z moves in this generation are gone. They never existed. Oh my god, fans, whenever, we got more of the reveal of Sword and Shield and Game Freak was more like, you guys wanted your Mega Evolution and your Z moves back, didn't you? I mean, Z moves was more like we kept it on for a while, it was, it was like just for Sun and Moon, it was fun. We're not gonna bring those back, we're sorry, Mega Evolutions goes for the same, because Mega Evolutions was for a while too. Started from Gen 6, and then worked some games up and stuff, even got added in Gen 7. We could have not added, Mega Evolution in Gen 7, but we did. We did. And I'm just sitting there more like, man, it's like, I probably could care less about the Z moves. No offense, but the Z moves are more like, I don't know, the Z moves aren't really something very impressive compared to what Mega Evolution, can do. Because it's like, Z moves give you the ultimate finishers and everything. Like in a Mortal Kombat game or something, like the ultimate finishers to beat your opponents. That's exactly what it does. Or maybe just if any anime series with ultimate finishers and stuff. Like if you watch anime and you watch like action series and stuff, the ones that have more action to it. You see any characters just bring in the ultimate finishers on, their opponents, their villains, and they win. Yeah, that is exactly what Z moves describes, to a lot of people. It's just, it's the finisher to beating a boss. That is all what Z moves were. Mega Evolution was something different to where it actually had, Mega Evolution was more of something that had more like a theory to it and more lore to it, like why it was made and, what could be more of Mega Evolution. What could we see more of in Mega Evolution? And me, with me, yeah, I'm more of just looking at it like, you're right. It's like, what could we see more of Mega Evolution? Because I played X and Y years back and everything. This goes back to around high school and everything, Or, I mean, yeah, it goes back to around high school or before I even got into high school because, I graduated out of junior high when I was in the 8th grade. I was enjoying my summer. I got my 3DS. I got to play Pokemon X and Y finally. Or maybe I was in junior high. It was probably like the last bits of it, but I did get my my 3DS and everything. I did play X and Y. I was okay with it, but funniest thing is that after I finally beat the first gym leader. I went to school, because it was around the end of the year anyway. I went to go and play my 3DS and everything because we had nothing else going on. I had a friend, I believe his name was Daniel, I believe. I know it had a D in his name. Dude wasn't really cooperative. Well, not really cooperative, but he wasn't talkative that much with a lot of people. But I was being one of the lucky few that was being like his friend or something, in our class and stuff. I was like, hey, what's up? Like me and him just had a bond and stuff. But, but he watched me play the Pokemon game and stuff, I mean, I let him go a couple of battles and stuff. But, after, but it was like after one of the few days and everything that I went to go and play the game and stuff, I went and beat it, or I was getting near to the end of beating the game anyway, I went and beat most of the gym leaders in a day. It was already like around the end of the school day one time. I was on, I don't know if I was on Olympia or if it was on, I know I was on close to the very end. Like, I've already beaten like so many gym leaders in, basically in just that day. And, at first my 3DS was about to die, and whenever it did, I wasn't able to save in time. So my friend was telling me like, dude, you're gonna charge your 3DS when you get home and stuff, but the next time, bro, you gotta charge it. And I'm like, I'm gonna do this again tomorrow. And he's like, do it, dude. Like, I am so surprised at you. You beat that many gym leaders in a day. And I'm like, Yeah, not even joking. I went and beat, freaking Grant all the way to like probably Olympia. I probably got all the way to Olympia, who's the seventh. Literally, just went from the second all the way to the seventh in a day. And I'm like, okay, like if I got to Wolfric, who was the last one, if I went and beat him and everything, yeah, I definitely would have said like pretty much game over at this point. I win. I pretty much win. I won. I beat all the gym leaders in a day. I'm fine, I can definitely, beat the Elite Four on the next day and stuff, but at this point I feel like I've beaten the game. you know? But I was a bit disappointed with that because, as I started to progress more after I beat the Elite Four, I became the champion, I beat the story of the game. X and Y became so dull, and it felt like the challenge just wasn't there anymore. I was just like, that's it? I win? There's nothing else? Huh. Well, I really tried to, get myself to do other things, like, post-game related. There really wasn't much of anything post-game related. There really wasn't. It was like, doing the looker missions, sure, that was one, but that didn't do it for me. That really didn't do it for me at all, because I was like, this is interesting to know that Looker is back. I haven't seen you since, what was it, like the Unova games? I haven't seen you since the Unova games and stuff, I know where he first originated from, and it was, like Sinnoh, Diamond and Pearl. That's where he originates from, because, or I think he does. I don't know, like, if it's the first time we see Looker is in the Gen 4 games. Because if it is, well, there you go. That's why we see more of Looker, because he comes back, like, a lot. That's why he came back in, Gen 5, where, we have to go and track down the other, it was Seven Sages, I believe they were called. You had to go track down each and every one of them, bring them to justice to prevent from Team Plasma to come back. And then Gen 6, it was, him and his new assistant with an Esper. And Esper and everything. But yeah, basically, had to go through that and everything. Team Flare made their comeback, sort of. They had Looker's assistant in a suit. But they had Looker's assistant in a suit, and you basically just had to like fight to get her back. Still, that wasn't enough. It was like pretty easy. I won anyway. I was like, it's like, this is so easy. It's like, could I get a better post game, please? Like, don't get me wrong, I loved, X and Y. I loved, the way how they did a lot of the musical themes and a lot of, the towns, the areas that we got to go to. I liked it. But it felt, like, there was something else needed to be and everything. Like, yeah, you got to, like, you didn't have much else to do. It was like catching legendaries, which was basically the obvious thing to do. And, well, at that point, there wasn't really too many legendaries to capture anyway, because, one of the three birds, would start roaming around and everything, which you'd have to go and chase them in order to get to this one island and everything. People were also saying, like, as a rumor or something, that basically if you have all three, Lugia shows up or something, like it's a Lugia event there, and I'm like, if that was really the case, that'd be cool, but I don't think Lugia is gonna show up and everything. If he does, why couldn't we get, the other, where it's like, Ho-Oh and the dogs? That would have been cool, like, some kind of other thing to go on and everything. Like, maybe we'll get to travel to, like, a new area or something, and it does deal with, the three with Ho-Oh. Like, we have to get the three to get to Ho-Oh and stuff. Like, maybe make it a journey like that. But no. Like, Carlos was just like, nope. nope. It's like, you're not doing that. Nope. But, yeah. But, the, like, dimensional travel, primal reversions, also mega evolutions. I think a much better story, probably. I'm not saying I hated the original Diamond and Pearl story, because I played Pokemon Diamond. Um, Reason being why I got Pokemon Diamond was because of the fact that Dialga's my boy. But I think the better game to probably play would be Platinum because the fact of the distortion world that you could actually explore it. So I probably should have gotten Platinum and everything because if I had realized that Platinum allowed you to go through the distortion world, I would have gotten Platinum than getting Diamond and stuff. Because still would have gotten Dialga and stuff, but I would have had all three. I would have had all three with me. I would have been like, sup. Roar of Time, Spatial Rend, is it Phantom? I think it's Phantom Force. It's either Phantom Force or Shadow Force. I can't remember what the move was called for Giratina. It probably was called Phantom Force, probably. But yeah, all three of those moves completely just demolishes the Elite Four and the Champion Cynthia. I'd be like, I'm done. Bye. I'm out. um. But yeah, much better story to be told. Probably more focusing on the lore, just like they did in the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire, where it focuses more on the lore of Groudon and Kyogre and everything. More of it's like the same lore, but it's like a much more updated lore version because this is more focusing on the Mega Evolution stuff and everything, just like what Groudon and Kyogre went through. I mean, for Rayquaza, it also went for him as well and everything, but this would also go for Giratina. For the mythicals, besides Arceus, I would want the mythical events to be more freely and everything, because if they weren't, that'd be a real letdown. Because for one, it's why can we not have them free? Why can't we have them not freely to be gotten and everything? Deoxys, Deoxys in the Ruby and Sapphire remakes and everything. He was a mythical event way back for the games and stuff. He was a mythical way back for the games. I think it was more. I don't know if it was more for Emerald than it was for Ruby and Sapphire, because I don't think you could have gotten the Deoxys event in Ruby and Sapphire. I don't think you could. Emerald, you definitely could. You could definitely get Deoxys in there, but he was an event. But in the remakes, though, Deoxys was more connected with the Delta episode with Rayquaza. So, yeah, it's like telling you that first ever mythical Pokemon that is, first ever mythical that is, freaking, Deoxys and everything easily could be gotten and everything. You could easily just get Deoxys, by the Delta episode. He's not a mythical pretty much anymore. I mean, he is. But it's at the same time, though, it's with the remakes, it's kind of hard to really tell, are you a mythical Deoxys? Are you? But I think that should go the same way for Darkrai and the others and everything, because, in the events for Darkrai and Shaman, and it was Darkrai and Shaman, and I know there was another one in there too. It was Darkrai and Shaman, and there was another one I can't really think at the top of my head right now. I probably should have waited, before making this video. I probably should have, went to go and check that and stuff, because I'm pretty sure I could have looked up this, Diamond and Pearl events. But Darkrai's, though, it seemed more like it was very simple, though. But I believe in the remakes, the mission of where you have to go and catch Cresselia, which I think Cresselia becomes I don't know if Cresselia becomes a roaming Pokemon in Diamond and Pearl. I don't know if she does. Yeah, I don't know if Cresselia becomes a roaming one, just like Mesprit did, because Uxie and Azelf I don't think became, roaming. Mesprit was the only one that did. Cresselia, I don't know if became, roaming, but you definitely did have to go and, get Cresselia in order to go and get the Lunar Wing that you can give to the kid that's having nightmares. But speaking on that, though, for a Darkrai episode or something like that, for something, multiple, basically having multiple different post-game adventures, Darkrai's episode would be more focusing more on that and everything, where it's to where, it's more you get to focus more on, whenever you first go into, and do the mission and everything, the boy that's basically suffering from nightmares and everything, it's kind of like, of course, it'd give you nostalgia, like, I know exactly where to go. We have to go to this place called Full Moon Island, which is exactly where Cresselia is. But there's an actual twist, though. Darkrai gets in your way. Darkrai tries to stop you in your way every way possible, and, basically makes it very hard for you, makes it very hard for you to even, get there and everything. And then of course though it would seem like Darkrai would kind of be like, I'm not saying Darkrai's a ghost because yeah, I think Darkrai's main type is the dark type. He isn't a ghost. Although he kind of does look like he is a ghost, like a shadowy ghost and everything. It's kind of weird for Darkrai. Darkrai's more the dark type. He's not a ghost type, or is he? I don't know if his Mega would make him part ghost type. I don't know. Because if that was the case, Darkrai would probably be a bit broken. Just probably. Fighting type moves would not have any effect on him. Not at all. That probably would be a bit too broken, probably, because it's like, Ghost and Dark. You can't really hit that. Or maybe you can. I don't know. But, anywho, though, Darkrai would basically be getting in your way every way possible. Like, you're trying to get to Full Moon Island, but, Darkrai is kind of, like, watching from the shadows and is like, you're trying to... no. No. You're not saving that kid. It's like, I have an idea. I have an idea. Of course, I think the first appearance that Darkrai would make though, would definitely be like, Darkrai would definitely make the first appearance of like, you go and see the kid, the parents of course are looking at their son that's basically stuck in a nightmare. He's stuck, and of course you're worried about it too and everything, but then you feel this dark, cold, you feel, like this dark presence watching behind you. And so you look back and everything, and you do see the Darkrai, and it's like, dude, it's right there. The Darkrai's right there. So you're trying to get the people's attention and everything, trying to tell them, like, this Pokemon that, you call Darkrai or something, the one that gave this kid nightmares. It's like, it's right there, But they look, and the Darkrai's already gone, like, he completely disappeared. It's like, okay, it's like, they don't believe you and everything because they're like, trying to tell you, like, okay, we know that, it seems like you're trying to help us and everything, but, at this point, just telling us that Darkrai is right there, that's not helping and everything. But but they will tell you what will kindly help, for you to help us, as a generosity here, would definitely be going to Full Moon Island to find a Pokemon named Cresselia, that has the lunar wing that will definitely go and, basically wake up our son. Like, wake him up from this nightmare. And, yeah, that's your job. You go out there and everything, but Darkrai's already, kind of already knowing, already, because he's been listening. So, of course you go and ask the guy, to go on his boat, sail off to Full Moon Island. But whenever you do go and sail off and everything, Darkrai is already, whenever you sail off and everything, of course you and the sailor are already looking directly in the front. Darkrai's already in the back already, like in the back of the ship, and it's like, you think you're going there? It's like, no, you're not. You're not going to that island. You're not going there. And so, it's kind of like, you keep on sailing and everything, but it kind of feels like you've been sailing for hours. And, of course, it's like you get this really dark presence and everything, in which case, like, Darkrai, kind of creates, like, an illusion or something. Basically, it does make you where you're stuck in a nightmare and stuff. But, yeah, but Darkrai basically, you do battle the Darkrai in order to get out of the nightmare and stuff, but it's like, it's this long journey where you have to, like, walk or run inside the ship, in order to find the Darkrai. And whenever you do, at first you find the sailor, basically. You find the sailor, and, the sailor is just all like, hey, we don't have to go to Full Moon Island, It's like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, we do. We're gonna, like, I think it would, give you the little, decisive options or something, where one of them would tell you, like, yeah, we do. We have to go. We have to save that kid. The other one would tell you like, yeah, it's like, I mean, you know, like maybe yeah, we don't have to. You know, we could turn around, but of course it would have you stuck in like choosing the right option and stuff. But yeah, once you go and say like, yeah, we do, it's like, you know, the sailor would then be like yelling at you and be like, no, we are not going to that island. You know, it's like that island is bad news. We can't go. You know, Cresselia's not even there. You know, it's really bad. It's like, huh? You know, like you're finding it very strange and everything, and then of course, you know, you start getting the feeling that yeah, the sailor is Darkrai and stuff, you know, and even start like the sailor or the illusion of the sailor starts laughing and everything, like kind of creepy laughing, and it's like, guess you really, you know, you really couldn't be fooled. You're a smart one, and then it changes into Darkrai, and it's all like, oh, it's like that is dark. It's completely dark. Like I think Game Freak would do that. It's like a creepy little thing, you know, with Darkrai doing that. I could definitely see that happening. I'd be, you know, that'd be really the scariest thing ever. I'd be like, oh, it's like this Darkrai episode is really creepy, you know. But you do battle Darkrai and everything, you know, because Darkrai is wanting to challenge you to a fight. You battle the Darkrai. Um, I don't think it allows you to capture it because you're still in an illusion and everything. Yeah, I don't think it allows you to capture everything. But you do beat up the Darkrai, and then after you do it, everything, you know, the Darkrai sits there for a while and everything, but it tells you that Darkrai, you know, respects your strength and everything, and awaits you at you know, and awaits you at New Moon Island, and basically, yeah, it basically goes and disappears. The illusion disappears and everything. You know, everything returns back to normal, and then the sailor wakes up and everything, and he's like, "Whoa!" It's like, what just happened? You know, like it felt like, you know, I was like stuck in some sort of dream. It's like, wait, it's like I was sleeping. You know, it's like then who's been steering the ship? So it goes back to steering the ship and everything. You know, and then you guys finally reach over to the island and everything, and then you know you meet with Cresselia, and then yada yada yada. You know, but then once you make your on your way back and everything, you kind of try to tell the sailor like, well, you see, there kind of was, you know, this Pokemon that kind of made us stuck in like a nightmare, like it really was a nightmare or something. You know, and so the sailor would probably just be like, a nightmare. It's like, I mean, I can believe you, dude, because that was really creepy, you know. Oh wait, the dad is okay, okay. Well, maybe they might, you know, I don't know if they'll make the dad the sailor or something in the remakes, but if they do, you know, at that point though, it'd be like, you know, yeah, you know, like the sailor would then, yeah, would believe and be like, huh. It's like it must have been that Darkrai then. It's like, yeah, it's like it was, you know, but also another thing too, it seems like it wants me to go and challenge it though. Like last time we just encountered, you know, like just then, you know, it seems like, you know, we fought, it respected my strength, and it's telling me that it wants to meet me at New Moon Island. I don't know what, you know, what's up with that, you know, and of course the sailor's just looking at you like, it's like, alright, look, kid, let's go take care of this first, and after, you can, you know, you can do whatever you like, alright, because you wouldn't help this man out, you know, with this problem, you know, so basically, what other way can I thank you but like, you know, take you to whatever island you want and everything, whether it be the full moon or the new moon island or whatever. Like any other island you request, I will send you there in an instant. It's like, okay, thanks. So now, you know, you have, you know, like basically you get allowed the location of New Moon Island and everything to travel to. You know, and after you go and give the lunar wing to the kid, wake him up from his nightmare and stuff. You know, yeah, then you go and ask the sailor and stuff because you know he kind of looks at you and is like, let me guess, like you know you mentioned that in the beginning when we just got back. You want to go and face off Darkrai, don't you? It's like, yeah. Like maybe it gives you a choice where it's like, yeah, I want to do it. I want to face him, you know, or it's more like no. If it tells you no, the dude would probably be like, well, I mean, I'm still, you know, would like to take you and stuff like anywhere you like. So, I'll be like outside or something, like, or maybe I'll just stand right here until you like ask me like, hey, it's like, do you want to go to New Moon Island or something? Like basically still continuing the Darkrai episode. If you click yes, obviously he will tell you like, okay, sure, like let's go. So yeah, you do go over to New Moon Island and everything. Of course, the sailor tells you like, all right, it's like, look, I don't want to stay here for long. It already looks like this place is already creepy. It's a bit dark. Um, do your thing, really. Do your thing. And it's like, okay, okay. Like the New Moon Island would really be a dark place. It wouldn't be all sunny. It'd be really, dark because, fitting more for Darkrai. It doesn't really like the light. Um, so then yeah, you go and enter in and everything. You go and enter in the forest. You see Darkrai and stuff. Darkrai does make its entrance and stuff. Like at first, it seems like there's nobody there. But then from the water, like there's that little puddle of water right there and everything. Where like in the originals, there's a little puddle of water and everything, and you get to see Darkrai's reflection. But in that water though, he will rise. Darkrai will rise out of that water, making like making an entrance for himself and everything. And it's like, whoa, it's like you've been waiting for me, you know. Um, but then of course, yeah, but then of course though, you go over there and everything, and like yeah, you walk over there and everything. Darkrai kind of looks at you and everything, like it basically says in the text like, yeah, Darkrai's been waiting for you. He's been waiting for the rematch, and is probably hoping to is probably hoping to even build a bond, something like that. And yeah, so then you would go and battle Darkrai and everything. You go and battle Darkrai. And then, yeah, but then after you go and battle Darkrai and stuff, like after you battle it and catch it, then there's a little, like, yeah, but then there's, like, a little gemstone kind of pops out and everything, and it's like, wait a second. It's like, is that it? It's like, that's a Mega Stone. That is Darkrai's Mega Stone. It's like Mega Darkrai. That is awesome. Yeah, you would get a Mega Darkrai at the end of the day. You would get a Mega Darkrai. That'd be cool. And then yeah, and then so the place would still be dark though and everything because it's New Moon Island. But then once you exit out of it, because there's no other purpose for you to go there or anything. But then yeah, you go and tell the sailor and everything. The sailor's kind of like, yeah, it's getting pretty, pretty dark, pretty late here. Should we head back? It's like, can we head back, please? It's like, yeah. It's like, I already got my Darkrai. Let's go. It's like, good. I don't ever want to come back here again. It's like, yeah, okay. So y'all head back and everything, and then that's basically the end of the Darkrai episode. And then you get a Mega Darkrai at the end of it. You get a Darkrai with a Mega Stone. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I can make this a pretty long video discussing about Pokemon. As for a Shaman episode, and like of course in the originals and everything, the Shaman event, it was more like in a Grosseed, like yeah, it was more like in an area with like a lot of flowers and everything, but it magically happened because it was something to be thankful for on a stone, something a bit similar to that and everything, but it's more like there's actually a more beautiful land than like yeah, there's an actual more beautiful land than just like walking this long line just to reach over to Shaman and it's full of just flowers and everything. Like no. Like it'd be something more different where it's like, almost the same thing, but it's more like, you actually get to go and, it's not probably won't be much of a long travel or anything, but it's like, you do get to travel and everything, but whenever you finally get to reach to the place and everything, because I think it will take like a lot of steps for you. We're not like walking steps, but it's like a lot of steps to do to travel just to get to this place. Because I think that's probably what it would happen to do, because that's what happens with these events. You have to go everywhere. But apparently once you go and reach the place and everything, and have a name, probably like the Gorsita, garden or something, like that and everything. But basically, it'd be a very beautiful place. It'd have the Gorsita flowers, the trees and everything. Like there'd be a lot of trees and everything, like basically having a really beautiful place and everything. But I think not only, not only would you see just one shaman, but you'd probably see like a whole group of them. Indicating that there's more than one shaman because I think in the actual canon, I think in the actual canon of like, just, in general, a Pokemon, with Shaman, it seemed like there was more than just one of them. It seemed like there was more of a species of Shaman instead of just having one. So, yeah, most definitely, I think there, are more Shamans and everything. There's a lot more of them. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon definitely told us that. There's a lot more Shamans than what we believe. Um, but we would see a lot more shamans and everything, and of course, you're kind of very surprised about how many there are because this is their home. Um, and of course, it seems like just by taking one step, you kind of spook the rest of them. Uh, but then there's just this one that is even spooked by you at all. It's more like just looking up at you, like yeah, like it just looks up at you like, huh. It's like, how did you get here? Like seriously, it's not even scared. It's just like, where did you come from? It's like I it's like I may have came from somewhere else. But but Shaman would show no fear, and then it would seem like I don't know if Oak would also be a part of this as well because in the actual Shaman event, Oak does, show up and everything for this. But I mean, maybe it might tie in a reference of that and everything where Oak actually does show up and he actually, does explain to you, like, seems like this one right here isn't even afraid of you. The other ones seem to ran away. It's like, yeah. Like, yeah, it seems so, It's like, I know what I should do. Of course, obviously, you want to battle and catch the freaking shaman. But I think for this one, yeah, you would have to keep Shaman in your party and everything. You would, um, because Professor Oak's never seen this type of Pokemon before, or I mean, maybe in the in the Mega timeline and everything, maybe Oak already knows what Shaman already is, because the Mega Evolution timeline or the reality already exists. I mean, all the other Pokemon exist in the regions and stuff. So yeah, probably Oak would already know, what Shaman already is and everything, and would say the research on it and everything. But I think he would also, but he would also go and bring up like a little bit of a hinting reference that, it's like he's seen the same thing happen before, but it's like, man, it's like, it kind of feels like before. I never really had my knowledge of this little guy before. It's like, but you know what? I do. Like just randomly just brings that up and everything, tying the reference back to, the original Diamond and Pearl event of, Shaman, to where, Oak never knew what Shaman even was, like, never even knew that Pokemon. But in the remakes, he would know who Shaman is and everything, like what the Pokemon is, and, just really just randomly bring up that reference, be like, huh, it's like, it's like, it feels like I never knew what these little guys were called. Like, what was their species? It's like, but now that I know, it's strange. It is so strange how, it feels like I've seen the same thing happen before. Like, it's a deja vu, you know? But, yeah, of course, every fan would blow their minds, like, like, their minds would be blown and just jaw dropped to be like, Oak, you have been through this before. It's like, this is like your second time of doing this. Your first time, you didn't even know what shamans even were. Like, seriously, I can imagine that right there. The shaman episode would be such a huge cluster that people would lose their freaking minds. They'd be like, dude, it's like you've been through this before. You really have. Oh my god. But, yeah, but I think they'll probably wrap it up right there and everything. I know I probably said I was gonna, you know what, I probably might go and, discuss, more of the megas of what mega evolutions that I would want and everything. Probably not too many, because Game Freak can always surprise us and everything and be like, yeah, we're giving you, like, all these really cool megas and everything. So the obvious ones are obviously the starters and everything, Torterra, Infernape, and Empoleon. Um, I hope that Empoleon and Torterra's designs really become a lot, cooler and awesome. Because Infernape's, I do not know how they can mess up Infernape's. Like, Charizard and Blaziken's have already been the best already. We haven't seen a Mega Typhlosion yet. I want to see a Mega Typhlosion. Until we do, then I would say, like, yeah, 3 gens already have awesome Mega Evolutions for fires. The fire starter. It's really awesome. The water starters and everything. Swampert's I'm okay with. It gives it big muscles and everything. It makes it stand up instead of it just being like, just kind of like on all fours, sort of like just standing on all fours. But no, it actually, gets up and actually, uses uses its arms and everything, its fists. So pretty cool for Swampert. Blastoise, it more or less just gets more like water cannons, really. A much bigger one, but it's still okay. The grass starters where mainly it is Sceptile and Bulbasaur. Venusaur's was okay, I guess. It gave it more of a growth. That was a pun. If you got that, friggin', type low in the comment section if you got that, cause yeah, Venusaur did get growth. It did. Sceptile, making it a dragon type and everything, although why did it become a dragon type when, its appearance kind of changed a bit and everything, but it also got like a huge Christmas tree as a tail. Not really gonna go into detail on why Sceptile would be the first ever grass and dragon type in the entirety of it in general. Because in all, the Pokemon gens and everything, when Dragon types became the hugest thing, yeah, Grass and Dragon never became a mix. Never. It never did. So now that Sceptile became one of that and everything, that's pretty much cool. Sceptile was the first ever Grass and Dragon type. And then we got a Alolan Executor, which, again, does not explain how he's a dragon. Just because he became like a palm tree does not make him a dragon. No. But those 3 obvious choices and everything. Hope the designs will really be cool for all 3, but Infernape's they really can't mess up because, like I said, fire starters for their megas never went wrong. Never. Let's see. For like random megas and everything, I definitely would want to see a Mega Luxray. I think the design of what a Mega Luxray should look like, it's like it has the black fur and everything, like its fur is black, but what I want to see on the Luxray and everything and its Mega, its fur actually starts, charging static electricity and everything, like it's just rapidly charging it, but it stays yellow and everything. Like, it's just a static and everything, just all the time and stuff. Of course, they could give it a much, cooler design with it. Probably instead of having, I don't know if they kept the star at the end of, Luxray's tail. I don't know if they kept that, or if they kept it as a bolt. But if they didn't keep it as a lightning bolt, they should definitely do that. That should definitely be cooler on there. Like, even the lightning bolt on its tail would definitely, charge, static with yellow. Definitely would be cool for Luxray. Magmortar, that one's really hard and everything design-wise, but Game Freak could definitely come up with something for a Magmortar, because Magmortar pretty one of the powerful fire, Pokemon in that gen right there. He's pretty powerful. He really is. Electivire, another electric type and everything, kind of one of the most, more powerful electric types too. It's mega and everything. Design-wise, again, it could probably be something really cool. Really could. Random thought, I definitely would want to see a Mega Mismagius. I definitely want to see a Mega Mismagius. And Fantine, or Fantina, I believe is her name. One of the gym leaders in Heart Home, I believe it's Heart Home. But, definitely though, I would see her, with her ace being the Miss Magius to definitely be using Mega Evolution and stuff. I could definitely see her using that. Um, because a Miss Magius and everything would definitely be more, probably looking more sorceress like. Definitely would be. Or, looking more witchy like and everything. And maybe Fantina probably might have a different design, probably. Might have more of a witchy design, probably. I don't know if she would have the same or probably would change up a little bit, but Fantina probably might change it up just a little bit. Because, yeah, Miss Magius, Omega Miss Magius definitely would be cool to see. Um, Trying to think through, legendaries I've already said and everything, I know a lot of you are probably going to be asking me, like, would we see a Mega Giratina? Like, would I want a Mega Giratina? I would. Both forms, I definitely would want that. Um, let's see, Mega Shaman, that'd be really cool in both forms as well. That'd be really awesome. The, I can imagine the Mega form for Shaman, as its regular form could probably be something like really, gentle like. But then whenever it gets to, the Sky form, the Sky form of Shaman and its Mega would definitely look really like, I'm not saying like really menacing, but it's like really, really like a tough fighter. Really, would, hands down just, beat everybody. I don't know if we would get a Mega Arceus. I don't know if we will or not and everything. Considering Arceus is already one of the best already, but if we were to get a Mega Arceus, though, that would break the game. That just means that Game Freak would be like, you can't really use it in competitive at all, because it's against the rules. It's like, of course. Of course. It's like, we can't use Mega Arceus. That sucks. Like a Darkrai, its design would actually be a lot more terrifying and would make it Ghost type. I can imagine that for Darkrai, it'd be really scary. And who knows? Maybe in the Darkrai episode, there'd probably be more lore around Darkrai, probably. Because I just went and explained the story and stuff, but the lore type wise, might be different and everything, because maybe the New Moon Island probably wouldn't be as short as what it is. Maybe there's probably some inhabitants on that island somewhere. Maybe just one person that knows Darkrai too well and is like, you're here for him. It's like, let me tell you a story. It's like, oh boy. It's like, I'm gonna get the lore, am I? It's like, yes. You're gonna get the lore of Darkrai. It's like, the Lord of Darkrai. He'd be pushing it. He'd be pushing that too far. But in a way, though, I would definitely see that guy being like one of the servants of Darkrai or something like that. Throwing in another reference back into the Darkrai event where that one guy where you go inside the house, yeah, where the guy is basically like, yeah, it seems like you have defeated, either defeated or you captured, Lord Darkrai. What have you done? Like, you're not supposed to do that. Darkrai reigns supreme. Yeah, it would be really creepy, though. I'm pretty sure, it would throw in a scarier tone, too. Kind of like with the Hoopa story in the remakes. Really scary. Yeah. But, some Megas here and there and everything. I can't say Mega Gallade because, remakes of Ruby and Sapphire already did Mega Gallade. I love it. I'm sure it would also get put in there as well and everything. It'd be really cool. Trying to really think and everything of, like just, some remake, or not remakes, but some megas for, maybe Hippowdon. Maybe a Mega Hippowdon. Probably a Mega Hippowdon. That'd be really cool. A Mega Hippowdon. Let's see. Mega Hippowdon, because, that'd be for Bertha and everything. I think Hippowdon is Bertha's ace. Trying to really think out and everything, because we already have the Mega Scizor already, and I know one of them is like a bug type, one and everything. I think he has a Scizor, so I'm like, Scizor already has a Mega, so it's like, that one's really hard. So I don't think any other bugs and everything. Probably y'all might be asking me if the three, the Lake Spirits, the Lake Trio, if they're ever gonna get Megas. Maybe. Maybe, but I think you have to go and like, hunt for the hunt for the stones for those three, because I don't know, maybe they would send you on a chase or something and you have to like literally go after them and stuff. They might be leading you over to like, maybe the possibility of where their stones could be, or maybe where other stones could be, like basically leading you to good fortune because, like they're not really bad, Those three aren't really bad. They're actually like the guardians, basically the guardians of the world itself. Like that's what those three are. Because, they guard, the celestial trio and everything, the celestial like quad, like the quad group, the celestial quad group. Uh, because Arceus counts in there, but I think it's more of a trio because Arceus is above them, not with them. Um, but yeah, but most definitely though, um, they probably might have mega evolutions. Probably, probably enhancing their psychic powers and everything. Like the how Azov, I believe, holds the willpower. Vesper holds the emotion, and Uxie holds the knowledge. Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. Um, but their enhancement of those powers would become really enhanced and everything, and even in combat too. Like they would have their psychic powers really enhanced, and probably give them a new ability with it as well, making them really powerful. Um, but if I had to say though, like other megas and everything, or maybe like one last mega, would probably be Magnezone. A mega Magnezone, that'd be really cool because Magnezones are already pretty powerful, but dude, like a Mega Magnezone, I don't know what the design would look like. It probably would be more, like it wouldn't look the same. It'd probably be more covered around with Magnemites because that's exactly why Magnezone kind of was created like that. Is because it's because like a lot of Magnemites are kind of like joined together and they created this Magnezone, whatever it is. But but most definitely though, yeah. But a Mega Magnezone would definitely have like a lot of Magnemites and everything, and kind of pulling the Kangaskhan, Mega reference and everything, because the little baby actually is grown up and it comes out of the pouch and everything, and it actually fights, with the mom and stuff. Like it fights alongside with the mom. So I'm like, that's cute. That's cute. It's like, okay, I like this mega. I like this mega evolution. It's like, Magnezone with its mega, it probably could have something like that too, where, the Magnemites kind of fight alongside with it. Probably might get a new move where it could send the Magnemites at it. Or maybe give it more of a charge. But, who knows really. But, anywho though, I guess this will be the end of the video right here and everything. Um, this was randomly just a thing though because I was watching, like a lot of Pokemon videos, and there was this guy by the name of Flame Vicious or something, or Flame Vivius, like something along that line and everything. Shout out to him and stuff. Like shout out to his channel right there because I was watching his video one day. He was doing he was talking about what he found on the Pokemon subreddit or something. And how, there was this guy talking about Sinnoh remakes and stuff, and I was like, well, there's a possibility of that, though, but, the way how he's talking about it, though, like, how Sinnoh remakes are gonna happen, like, the next year, I don't know about that. I don't know. It's like, I mean, we're still in the middle of the summer, and Game Freak can't really, yeah, but Game Freak can't really help like what's going on right now. They can't really do anything about it. Understandable though, but I wouldn't say that the minute all this clears up and everything, that they're really just gonna go and just randomly announce their plans of like Sinnoh remakes happening next year in 2021, because you know by then people would have already been like, no, 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 no. It's like, no. You released the DLC and everything. You probably were working on the Sinnoh remakes and everything. Probably keeping it as a hidden project. Like, no one's knowing about Sinnoh remakes right now. No one's knowing about it. they're having hinting thoughts like, yeah, it's coming. But right now though, it's like, no, no, it's like, no. Like, we're not gonna let you know about that yet. We're not gonna release it yet and everything. We'll let you know. We'll let you know. But but right now, we're not gonna let you know. We're not gonna let you know. It's like, okay. But yeah. But if any possible though, that whenever all this does clear up, and they get the DLC out of the way, I think yeah, there would be a confirmation somewhere where it's like they'll work on it more again, or maybe they're working on it slowly, just like the DLC, but they're just like can't really release it just yet because it's kind of hard to because like our work is kind of being a bit slow. But once we kind of finish up the tiny little bit of touches and everything, and all this clears up, we can start on our daily work basis. But I think by then, when the DLC finally releases, um, yeah, like we're gonna go and get some hints that Sinnoh remakes are coming. Trailer might as well get dropped and everything. Don't know when it's gonna be released. I don't know if it's gonna be like the trailer's gonna be releasing out like sometime in the summer here, or if it's basically gonna be like, yeah, like Sinnoh remakes. You guys have been waiting so long for this. It's like, well, guess what? We're hitting back with that. We're hitting back to Gen 4 with Sinnoh. Have fun. It's like, oh boy. But my main concern though is it really gonna stay on the Switch, or are they actually gonna have it more connect to the Nintendo 3DS like they did with the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire? Because if they did both, that'd be okay. But if they did only just the Switch though, I'm probably gonna be really upset because it's like, man, it's like 3DS with Pokemon, like it had some love. It did. Like the first time it ever started was like Gen 6, Gen 6, like X and Y, the first two, then moving over to the remakes, Ruby and Sapphire, and then, yeah, and then we move over to freaking Sun and Moon, yeah, I think it was Sun and Moon, and then, like, or, I don't know if it was Let's Go and then Sun and Moon. Can't really remember. you know, like I could have sworn it was like X and Y remakes. Then it was possibly Sun and Moon. Okay, it was Sun and Moon. Let's Go, Ultra Sun and Moon, because they were sequels, sort of. I don't even know what Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are anymore because I don't think they count as sequels because things definitely would have changed. Or maybe it's a different timeline thing again. Um, yeah. But definitely though, Let's Go, and then finally we hit on the Sword and Shield, or if it was like, Let's Go was after Ultra Sun and Moon. But honestly, I really don't, like honestly though, at that point it's really like whatever at that point, really is. But, like I'm saying though, just really hope that it probably does stay on the 3DS probably just for some time. Because, I mean, I know we got a lot of games on the 3DS. Well, just kind of the Let's Go. Let's Go wasn't on the 3DS, so Let's Go's out of the way. So we more have got, like, Gen 6 and Gen 7, like, 2 gens already on the 3DS. Gen 8 was just starting on the Switch, like, come on. But anywho, though, this will be the end of the video right here. I know this is the very first Pokemon video. I probably might do more and everything if you guys would, like to request and everything about, like, what were my thoughts on each generation and everything. There were some games that I have played and everything, but, like, the far back originals that were, like, Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, I mean, even counting Fire Red and Leaf Green, never even touched it. I'm more focused on the other ones to the future, but as kind of like a respecting fact though, I did still go to those regions and the other games, and I still did become the champion. So in a way, it's a win-win for me. I basically did go there and I battled, the leaders and stuff. It's just I didn't get to know much about the story, that the originals would probably even tell me about and stuff. But at the end of the day though, it actually made a lot of sense though. Because I watched videos and everything, and it now made sense. Plus, like rewatching Pokemon and everything with my little brother also, really just helped. But Anywho, though, I hope all of you have a wonderful night, day, morning, because it's night for me right now, but I don't really care for time zones. You know this. But anywho, have a wonderful day, everybody. And I guess I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.